Hello and welcome to the Pinkbike eMTB Field Test. I'm Dario, this is Stefan, and behind us are 6 of the best eMTBs for 2026. We're here in Northwest Arkansas to run them through the gamut of tests that we have designed for them, as well as get as many miles as we can.
We are here to get to the bottom of one very simple question. Which of these fine eMTBs behind us is the best of 2026?
Up first, we have the Norco Sight VLT, sporting the Bosch CX motor and battery system. This bike has 150 millimeters of high pivot horse link suspension and a 160 mil fork. It's one of the lighter weight builds on test and features a pretty interesting package when it comes to the geometry, the components, and the suspension on tap. Up next, we have the Pivot Shuttle AM. Oh! Shit!
Alright.
Now the Shuttle AM sports the same Bosch system, but it is the CX race motor, which is a little more powerful and a little bit lighter. The Shuttle AM features 150 millimeters of rear wheel travel, driven by the classic pivot iteration on the DW Link layout and a 160 millimeter fork. Up next, we have the big dog on test. That is the Cresline RS181, featuring the Avinox motor and battery system. As advertised, the Cresline has 181 millimeters of rear wheel travel and a 180 fork, and that suspension is delivered by Cresline's interpretation of the VPP dual link layout. This bike has quite a bit of adjustment on tap. You can change the travel, you can change the rear center, you can even change the reach, but we are testing it in its long travel configuration just to see how it stacks up.
Swallow to fly. We've got the Yeti LTE. This bike just came out. It's got 160 mils of travel in the rear, 170 up front. It's rolling on Yeti's 6-finity linkage design, and it's sporting that Bosch motor system. We've also got Specialized brand new Levo 4. That's got Specialized own motor system that they've developed with Bros, as well as 150 mils of rear wheel travel, FSR linkage, and 160 mils up front. It's using their in-house developed Genie shock tune. And finally, last but certainly not least, the forbidden Druid Core E. That's a 150 mil rear travel, 160 mil front travel, high pivot bike, and it is also sporting the Avinox M1 drive unit.
As per usual, we are running control tires on these bikes. We have Maxxis supporting us this year. We would also like to thank Endura Clothing for the apparel, Met Helmets for the lids, Visit Bentonville, Discover Bella Vista, and the Runway Group for having us out, showing us the trails, and showing us a good time too.
Tomorrow is day one where we will get these bikes set up and hit some of these trails.
That's right, first impressions and then digging into some of the challenges. So stay tuned for that and see you soon.
We're here in Bentonville for day one of the field test. It's time to divvy up the e-bikes. Stefan and Dario, they're gonna head out for their first impressions, but it's time to figure out who gets to ride what. Over the course of testing, they'll ride all of them, but day one, it's time to see where those very first impressions come from. I've got a stack of cards, and they have some very great marketing copy written for each bike. They're gonna try to determine which bike fits which keywords, very fancy marketing lingo.
Cool.
You guys ready for that?
Yeah.
You think you can identify the bike based on these great terms?
Yes, certainly.
Right. This is how it feels to ride like you always knew you could.
That feels
Yeti.
like Specialized, I don't know.
You think it's Specialized, you think it's Yeti? That's a Yeti. You get it. Dario will be riding the Yeti for his first impressions. We took the modern wolf in sheep's clothing and gave it a brand new bag.
Wait.
We took the modern wolf in sheep's clothing and gave it a brand new bag of high power, high tech tricks.
Did you write that?
I didn't write that.
Next up, this new blank e-bike powered by the blank system delivers all the watts with less weight and no bulk. Compromise elsewhere. Wonder where else to
I'm
compromise.
gonna get
That's
Cresline.
Cresline.
Oh, all right, we have to duke it out.
Yeah.
rock, paper, scissors for this one. You both got it right.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, sorry.
Rock, 1, 2, 3, shoot.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
All right, yeah, here we go. Rock,
One,
paper, scissors, shoot. All right, that's ours, I guess. You just shoot scissors every time?
All right, next one. Feel unrestricted full power performance without the weight. They all have some restrictions on them, I thought, though. But this one is unrestricted.
Pivot.
Specialized. I don't know.
Neither one is right.
All right.
Okay.
Norco.
Norco.
That is correct. So time to rock, paper, scissors.
Paper, scissors, shoot. You.
Well, that just kind of works like this, though.
Oh, but you read both and we argue which one we want. Oh, I did both.
Yeah. We should read some of these real quick so you know what you're getting. So
yeah,
this
I still want to guess which one is which.
All right, there we go. The next one you have is ride farther, climb higher, and descend faster. It's not just a bike. It's supernatural.
The S works.
Yeah, that's Specialized.
Supernatural.
Yeah, all right. And your final bike, which you know what it is, I guess I do too. Yeah, this is this bike doesn't just deliver power. It turns every climb into an open invitation and every descent into a masterclass in control. So that's the pivot. So you guys are gonna be so good at bikes if you do everything that these things say.
All right, first impressions. I am on the Pivot Shuttle AM.
And I am on the Cresline.
RS 181.
That's the one.
The big dog.
I knew that. Thanks.
Yeah, you bet. We're gonna head out, hit a lap. We'll see you soon. Wow, moving through a lot of travel, that's for sure. But it's keeping it really comfy. Whoa! Oh, that's a hole! Wow! This is insane. Oh, it's really hard not to tear the tires off. That's scary. That's pretty sick.
Wow. That's pretty fun.
That's truly my first ride on the Shuttle. It has a lot of grip. This thing is quite active. Like you feel the rear wheel moving a lot, it feels kind of soft, but then once you get used to it, it's like nice to have that wheel just stuck to the ground. It's got some good pop. Feels like it's progressive enough to like handle all the big hits around here. Front end feels like a little washy on some of the flatter corners, but I'm getting used to it. And then the motor, battery, no comment on the battery, but the motor, definitely like plenty of boost for me.
Felt pretty balanced, like good sizing wise. It's I think one of the smaller bikes we have in the lineup, but like I still felt pretty balanced in the bike. Bigger travel this one, like 180, 188, I believe. Yeah. And it definitely felt pretty gushy, but with the motor, it wasn't like, I wasn't like, oh God, I can't move this thing around, but it was a bit gushier, a bit more forgiving in some of the chunky stuff. Avinox motor feels really good, power delivery wise, really quiet. And yeah, I don't know, it was super fun, pretty playful.
I'm gonna get on the Yeti.
I'm gonna get on the Norco.
Sick.
Let's do this. Dario had a couple, I don't know, mechanicals, we'll say.
That's the most extreme.
Huh. Something happened to the fork and now the rebound just spins forever. It doesn't stop, it just keeps going. And that's a problem because you can't slow it down at all. And it is full fast. And it seems to gush oil out when I compress it.
So you're not riding the Yeti anymore, you're on the S-Works Specialized.
Correct.
And I am on the Norco site, and we're gonna go do lap 2, first impressions.
All right, got some pop to it.
The power delivery's great so far. Got her in the new updated version, a little more power. Dario's so quick in this janky climbing, can't keep up.
Great traction on the motor front. Like it knows when to give it everything and when not to.
The Bosch definitely feels a little less juicy than that Avinox. I feel like Norco does a really good job with their geometry. It's like proportional to a certain degree. I don't know, feels good.
Good job on the like, you know, just sitting down climbing.
Here we go. Whoa. I mean, the suspension on, it's a lower, like 150, 160, but it's freaking, feels good.
Compared to some of these other e-bikes, I just don't like the way this thing corners. Oh, it feels like you gotta pay a lot more attention to the front wheel. Definitely prefer the pivot.
Oh.
I think just from a cornering perspective, but this feels like a safer bike on other things.
This one feels so balanced. I feel good, like even weight on both tires. Like this thing's shorter travel, 150, 160, and it feels way livelier down that trail.
Oh, Stefan with the nice little pump lines. I can't believe this is in people's backyards. That's crazy. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Bup, bup.
The site was pretty awesome, felt right at home. I just used the Ride-A-Line setup guide, just set it up like exactly how they said to set it up, and it felt super comfortable. Definitely noticed the Bosch was a little less juicy than the Avanox, like a little less get up and go, especially in those janky tech climbs, but still like tons of juice. And yeah, descending a little bit more lively than the Cresline with the bigger travel. Like
you mentioned at one point while riding.
Yeah, like 150, 160. It felt like it ramped a bit more than the Cresline. Maybe it's just because of bigger travel, but this was a bit like, you kind of like pump more for some of those flowier stuff we rode.
Cool.
How about
you? Different. I rode the Stumpy 15 a ton, and in some ways this bike feels like that, but it feels maybe a little less balanced. I think it's a lot of weight up front on the bike, and the front center feels quite long, so it took a bit to get it used to, like how it corners. But once I got a hang of that, pretty happy with it. Like, manages travel really well. Feels like surprisingly comfortable in the rougher stuff that we rode, and then, you know, still like gives you enough platform to like push through on the pumpier bits. But I think like the pivot had a lot more grip than this bike, like at the rear wheel, so balance there. But all right, as you may know, we had a couple mechanicals today, so we're gonna send some emails and develop a game plan, fix those tomorrow morning, and then do our final little first impressions wrap up and keep doing this. But first, we're gonna get dinner and take a shower.
All right, what's up you guys? Day 2, we're doing our first impressions on our bikes. The last couple bikes, I got the Druid Core E here.
And I have the Yeti LTE. Got a fork operating on the front of this bike. Stoked on that. And it's time to give some thoughts.
Yeah,
to the
let's
cameras
go ride.
And to each other.
Let's go ride. All right, let's do this. Okay, sweet. Is that good for you? Gotta say, power delivery on the Avanox is pretty nice. I would say the best so far. Bike-wise, it's the hardest to like manual the front wheel, but also you feel really balanced in the bike. It's quite a bit of a higher stack. It's like higher stack, shorter reach, but it feels good. You still feel really balanced in the bike.
Sick. Feels pretty lively compared to some of the others. Like, oh god, real squirrely there. I always use your air though. Carries its weight pretty well. Feels like it's got some pop to it.
Oh, you should go. I'm so bad at this.
I'm putting it in turbo.
Oh, a little bit of overrun there. Maybe I'll turn her down. Yeah, to trail. A little too much overrun for in here.
Wow, this thing is cool. It just carries a lot of speed.
Getting a bit of a weird like palm numbness. I don't know what that's about fit-wise, but climbing feels super comfortable. Good pedal position. You're enough in the middle of the bike that I'm getting good traction. So descending, again, the weird like shorter reach than other brands, but higher stack, that's their whole thing. But it feels good, like, oh, like a lot of front end grip. hard, feels like I can trust it. My gears are going wild.
Oh my God, this thing is crazy. It just, I think Erasure Award goes to the Yeti. This is, wow.
I mean, probably one of the calmest bikes through that chunky stuff. Oh, ha! On your left. On your left.
All right, that is a wrap on First Impressions. This is a bike that I have ridden before, but haven't ridden in a while, and it is still sick. I really like this bike. It's definitely a lot different than some of the other like long spread out ones. It feels a little tidier, maybe like more compact. The suspension works so well. It's just, you can just like put your feet down through stuff and it absorbs everything. So I'm digging that.
Nice. Yeah, and me, Druid core. I've ridden this a few times because they're based where I live, but first ride around here. And I think that the biggest thing that stands out with this is the power. Like I was telling Dario, it feels like the fastest both in the flats, like on the roads and connector trails, but also feels really fast going down. Feels pretty balanced. I think Forbidden's gone more like shorter reach, higher stack, which is interesting. You kind of feel like you're a little bit more like riding a scooter, but it feels good, it works.
Cool. I'm stoked to ride that one.
Yeah.
Seems interesting. And you were pulling away from me on every road, so
yeah,
that was annoying.
I mean, it was super good, honestly, super fun.
All right, that is a wrap on episode 1. We're gonna go spend the rest of the day riding the bikes, putting some notes down. Yeah, and we'll start chatting about them in a little bit, but for all y'all, stay tuned for episode 2, where we will be doing some challenges, some more head-to-head stuff between the bikes, and giving you more thoughts on how they all compare.